And the prophet came by not to give her the miracle, but to show her the miracle. Look at how she thinks. First she says, I have nothing at all. And then she thinks, so the first place is she thinks she has nothing. You'd be surprised. Pastoring people is more difficult today than it's ever been before. Because the have-nots get to watch the haves on TV.
Absolutely. That's so good.
And it brings them to the point that they think that they have nothing. You can't enjoy the beauty that you are for looking at other beautiful women. They redefine what is beautiful every 20 minutes. So all of a sudden, if you're not a size 2, now you gotta have short hair, you gotta have long hair, now it's gotta be natural. Everybody keeps telling you what you ought to look like. But you gotta say, I've got something. I got something, baby. If you don't get it, shame on you. But I got something. You missed that, I got something. I don't have to look like her. I don't have to drive what he drives. I don't have to live where they live. There's gold in them here hills. Woo, say it again, I got something. She first made the mistake of telling me I have nothing. Look at how low she thought. How much more faith she had in negativity than positivity.
Wow.
I'm getting ready to sell my boys. They're gonna be slaves. They weren't, but she was confessing negativity. Her muscles of faith were so weak that when the prophet came to her, she says to him, I got nothing. And she raised it a little bit. She said, a little jar of oil back in the bag. That's all I got. And the prophet doesn't even ask her for the oil. He tells the woman who is in debt to go get him more debt. I'm not telling you that. He says, you are not taking enough risk for God to help you. Did you hear that? That was good right there. Wasn't that good? That was good. Because God is with the risk taker.
Yes, sir.
Not the wisher, not the dreamer,
That's good, sir.
the risk taker.
Yes, sir.
He said, you're broke because you haven't taken enough risk.
Wow.
You're broke because my daughter wrote the book, Don't Settle for Safe.
Yeah.
You are broke because you played safe.
Wow.
Now this other sister over here, I'm coming over y'all's way, I forgot you. This sister's rich. She's so rich, the Bible says she's rich. When God say you're rich, you're rich. When people say you're rich, it just means you got more money than them. By somebody's standard, everybody in the room is rich. Because rich is a relative term. But I trust when the owner of heaven and earth says you're rich, you're rich. She's real good. And I know she's rich because she has a husband, she has a house, she takes on a building project to add a room on a roof, a second story suite for a prophet because she says he's a man of God. And they build a room for him. That other woman couldn't build no room. They got a bed, a chair, and a table. and put it in his room in case he comes by. Don't get it twisted. He doesn't live there. But peradventure, he should decide to grace us with his presence. We want to make sure that the accommodations are sufficient for a person of his caliber. Seeing as he is of the upper echelon of prophets, it would only be appropriate for us to avail him with the type of life that would be reflective of who we are in this society. These are rich folk. They good. Don't need nothing. Elijah is laying in the lap of luxury, taking it easy. She has so blessed him and asked for nothing. God can't stand for you to keep blessing him and ask for nothing. She is so generous that her generosity has put a demand on God. I told you the liberal soul shall be made fat. God said, I can't just keep receiving from you, because if I keep receiving from you and don't give back to you, that makes you God. I can't let you be my provider. So whatever you give me, I got to give it this shit. Hey, I got to give it back to you. Because I can't let you mess up my brand like I needed you. So the more you give me, the more I have to give back to you, just so that I can show them who is God. So the prophet is now uncomfortable in the bed because he says to his servant, don't you need something? Can we do something for her? Maybe we can help her out with something. She good. She doesn't need anything. Bring her here to me. Woman, can I do anything for you? I'm good. Maybe I can introduce you to the king. Okay? Maybe you don't need stuff. Maybe you need influence. I know him. Then the servant says to Elijah, the only thing that she doesn't have is that she does not have a child. She does not have a child. She does not have a child, and her husband is old. Finally, Elijah says, I can do something, because I have found a gap. I can't bless nothing that don't have a gap. I have found a gap. I have found something that she cannot do for herself. I have discovered her poverty. We let our little cars and our little stuff fool us into thinking. We let our stuff fool us into thinking that if you got stuff, you don't need anything. That if you don't have things, then you need Jesus. But if you got stuff, good morning, how are you? I'm not gonna tell you about Jesus because you look like you're doing fine. And they don't know. that late in the midnight hour, this woman is crying just like this woman is crying. This woman needs God just like this woman needs God. This woman has a gap just like this woman has a gap. There are two different shades of pain. And Elijah represents the God who stands in the gap. The reason I like this text is because these two women's stories are butted up against each other. And the same God that stepped into her house and said, I'm gonna make something flow that wasn't flowing, is the same God that stepped into her house and said, I know your husband is whole, and I know he's lost his flow, but I'm gonna start a flow in his body just like I started a flow in her jar, and both of you are gonna be blessed, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, because whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever you like, whatever you're craving for, God's got it. And I came to tell you this morning, whether you are black or white or Republican or Democrat or rich or poor or high or low, whatever you need, God is a God